Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to
Another amazing Change Your Life series hangout call. And today we are doing relationships.
We're just wetting ourselves laughing because we've had so much fun trying to log on to this call, seeing it's been our 4 minutes. See that manual zoom? That was a cool feature.
That was cool.
Does it work both ways? Can we zoom out?
Let's see.
Woo! Yay! Zoom back in again.
It's going to be really funny if the table tips over.
It is, yes.
It is. Cool.
So this beautiful device you can see in my hand is a combination of both phone and headset because, quite frankly, this computer sucks as far as speakers go. So
if you were on our hangout last month, you will know how bad it was. I actually had to combine the recording from the phone with the recording from the video from the hangout to actually give us something that was worth listening to.
Yeah.
So, welcome everybody. I'm Michelle Edhouse.
And I'm Glenn Edhouse too, because we're married and we share a last name and stuff.
Which
isn't always the way it goes these days. Nowadays you can be married and not share a last name. Last names is just a choice.
It is.
That happiness is just a choice. So last names is just a choice too.
In fact, when we got married, my sister was actually quite surprised that. Fuck off. Please excuse the language. My sister was actually quite surprised that I changed my name. She thought that I would be the type of person that would keep their name. And so, hey, here we are. 13 and a half years down the track from marriage, 18 years down the track from meeting.
Yes.
Not that he can remember much of it, but
13
anyway.
And a half. 14 and a half, isn't it? 2001? 15? I'm so glad one of us can maths.
14 and a half years. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, time's fun when you're having flies too. Maybe.
Yes.
So says Kermit the Frog. Oh! What's green and smells of pork? Kermit the Frog's finger.
As you can tell, we're not particularly normal and we're not particularly reverent of anything.
Especially Muppets.
If you're easily offended, please
this is not the
hang
place
up,
for you.
Leave, go away now.
No, actually, the original shock jock, Howard, back in the I don't know when days, there's a guy the original shock jock, and they did a survey amongst people that listened to this radio station, this rock radio station thingy, and the people that really liked him listened for an hour and a half just to find out what the hell he would say.
Huh.
Yep.
Right.
The people that didn't like him would listen on average for 2.5 hours because they wanted to find out what the hell he was going to say. They're more willing to be offended than they were willing to listen because it was fun.
Cool.
Isn't that an indictment of the...
It is.
Yes.
So that's actually quite similar to relationships on this planet right now. Hey, cool. Check that out. We've got beepies going on.
Maybe we should mute that.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should put it on totally do not disturb. Hey, do not disturb. I'm putting this do not disturb sign out, darling. Whoop, do not disturb. But that is it really.
If the camper starts rocking, don't come knocking.
We'll turn the camera off, promise.
We don't have a camper either, so that sort of messes that up.
No.
And the house rocks quite regularly when the trucks go past on the main road, so... we didn't actually notice... Oh, did you notice the earthquake last night? No, we thought it was a truck. Oops.
But, that whole shock jock story that you just told, it's actually quite normal for relationships on this planet. Most people on this planet would rather have a bad relationship than no relationship.
Yes, you are less of a loser for having being in a relationship with someone that you don't actually like than you are if you don't have a relationship at all. Here's the thing, logically that doesn't make sense. Yet that seems to be how it works.
How many of you know someone who's still in a relationship even though they have been complaining and moaning and groaning about it for years and 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 years, and yet they're still there and they swear they'll never, ever, ever leave them. So, everything that is.
Yes,
and everywhere you've bought into that is what relationship is, and that is how you need to do relationship. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that, please?
Times a Godzillion.
Right and wrong.
Is the number so big only God knows what the hell it is?
Good and bad.
Like a pod.
All 9.
Shots.
Boys and beyonds. Now.
Clearing statement. Blah, blah. Email.
We're access consciousness facilitators. And that weird thing that we just did was called the clearing statement. If you haven't heard it before and would like to know more about it, please go to www.theclearingstatement.com.
No, I was involved in the making of this video.
Don't you class Corona as alcohol?
I was lying. No, but Gary Douglas, founder of Access, talks about how, in his experience, about 1 in every 10,000 people that he knows of has actually got a good relationship. And he's a person that meets a lot of people every year.
Isn't there 2 people in a relationship? Doesn't that mean it takes 20,000 people, 10,000 relationships to actually make a good relationship? To have both partners be...
Yes.
Wow. 1 in 10,000 relationships is a good relationship.
Yeah, apparently the divorce rate... Now, I'm sorry, I might not have this correct, but the divorce rate in America is 50%. But did you know that 100% of divorces are caused by marriage? There have been no recorded instances of people who have not been married getting divorced. So there you go. If you're going to get married, you've got a 50% chance of being divorced in America. But that's the people that it's got bad enough for them to actually separate and divorce.
Yes.
Although in America, I think it doesn't actually take much. Here's your 50 cents and it's all over. Here in New Zealand, it's a wee bit different. You've got to live away for live separated for 2 years, and then you can separate. The other interesting thing
you separate, and then you've got to be separated for 2 years to get a divorce. To
get a divorce, yes.
Yeah. And pay money.
And pay money, yes. But you can get married by applying and get
3 or 5 days.
3 or 5 days, and you can be married, but it takes you 2 years to separate. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it take you 3 or 5 days to get separate, to get a divorce, and have to live with someone for 2 years, even in separate rooms in the house? Just if that's the way you work, no sex.
Prove that you've been living together for 2 years before you're allowed to get married.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? I mean, hey, I really love you, and I think you're sexy, and we have a great time in the bedroom and everything, and let's live together for 2 years, but then get married, and then after a year and a half, you go, I'm not doing this.
We did that.
Yes. Wow, maybe we're smarter than we
even
think
went through that whole thing of buying a house and committing to each other financially before we got married. Hey.
Maybe we're not just cute. Maybe we might actually be smart as well. We're so far ahead of the curve. We are creating the curve.
Anyway. So, what if there is a different possibility with relationships? What if what you've seen on TV, on all the wonderful soaps, and that's a nice possibility in relationship. What have you seen on TV or even had in your family is actually not what is possible? What if you could create your own possibilities in relationships, something that's never ever been on this planet before, something that people will look to in the future and go, far out, wow, they were ahead of the curve. They actually created what we now know as relationship.
Yes, ultimately that's the question that we'd like to pose to you. If you could have anything from a relationship, what would you have? If it didn't have to look like anything you've seen around you, what would it actually look like? We personally know some people who, 2 of them were married and things weren't going great and they've separated, and one of them hooked up with a 3rd person and it actually worked out better for all of them. Now, according to this reality, everything we've looked at and told and everything, the married couple that have separated are supposed to have all sorts of trauma and drama, and they're supposed to hate each other and blah blah. They've got kids involved, blah blah. But no, they actually get along really well. They're better friends now that they've separated than they were when they were living together. And the person that hooked up with another, their relationship is
in 10-second increments. They choose in 10-second increments as to whether or not they be together, whether or not they see each other, and that works for them.
Yeah.
What have you not even imagined is possible with the relationship? That if you were to start looking at what is right for you, i.e. right relationship for you.
No, we shouldn't talk about right relationship for you. They might find out about Susan Lazar.
Oh, we shouldn't tell you about all the wonderful right relationship for you facilitators around the world.
Something. Right relationship for you, definitely don't look at that.
So don't look at rightrelationshipforyou.com. Don't go check that out. Check out the amazing classes that they teach. Yep. That would, that might give you too much change.
Yeah. In other words, go do it.
In other words, we're telling you what not to do so that you do it.
Susan Lazar.
There's heaps of facilitators now.
Yeah. Oh.
So, yeah.
Patina here in New Zealand. And I shouldn't have said anything because now I can't remember all the names. Go check it out because they are examples of choosing what's going to work for you and for your partner.
For you. So, one of the cool things about right relationship for you is it's about getting the relationship with you and yourself and your body for you sorted, and then adding other people. And it may not be another sex partner. It may be, if you've got your relationship sorted with you, you know what's right for you. You know what is amazing and possible, and you actually don't allow others to create the crap that's going to affect you in work environments, in family environments other than a partner, in all the relationships we have. You walk into a store and you're talking to a shopkeeper. That's a relationship. What is a relationship? A relationship is the distance between two things, beings, whatever you want to say. So it's the relationship, the distance between two things. It may be this, it may be this, maybe.
It might be a phone, a headset, microphone. I'm going to laugh my ass off if this does not work. This is so stupid. But
I can see the little green things on the Google Hangout, so at least that's getting through.
It's helping.
It is. So what's the possibilities?
I'm on a speaker, right? So if someone does talk, it's actually going to make noise.
Yes, we'll hear them.
Cool.
If there's anybody out there and you want to talk.
No.
Cool.
Dang. That's
awesome.
All right.
If you do want to talk, please ask a question. If you've called in on the instant teleseminar, please go ahead, interrupt us. We can talk for hours, so
And if you're on the instant teleseminar webinar, listen by the web only. Stop screaming at your computer. You're looking like an idiot, and it doesn't actually get through to us.
And if you do have any questions and you're watching us live on the Google Hangout, you can put your questions in the question and answer box, and they will pop up on our screen, and we can answer them for you. So cool.
Because we're not here appearing in front of you as gurus on relationship. Because
I wanted to be a guru.
What sort of guru? Because we're not necessarily saying that we're perfect. Well,
pretty darn good. You're pretty darn good.
Yeah, pretty damn close. But we've actually managed to create something that actually works for us most of the time. No, there goes the perfectness. Oh.
And when it doesn't work for us, we're willing to ask a question. Any question that can start to open up the awareness of what we can change, what we can be or do different, that will create what we are looking to create. And we're not saying to you that, if you use these tools, you will be perfect in the next 10 seconds. But what you may choose is something that's different and that creates more fun and ease and joy for you.
It's actually kind of funny because we've just been at a Access Consciousness Level 2 and 3 up in Auckland here in New Zealand. And one of the people that we spent a bit of time with there said, "Oh, I was really quite shocked when I got into Access because I met all these people that are just, were having issues with their partner and separated from their husband and blah blah." And I thought, "Oh, is that what I have to do? Do I have to give up?" She was quite happily married actually. And do I have to like separate from my husband or something to do this? And it's like, no. If it's working for you, keep doing it.
Access consciousness, for those of you that haven't come across it before, is a set of tools and processes that you can use to change what's not working for you. And if something is working for you, by adding the tools, it can make it even greater than you ever imagined possible. So that's what we're inviting you to. I'm sitting forward. You're sitting back. Okay, you want to be tall.
I'm supposed to look taller than you.
Oh, look, it makes me look quite petite, doesn't it? Oh, lovely. Perspective.
Yeah.
Change perspective. Change your perspective on life and see what changes. So, what is it that you would like to change? What have you been creating so far that's not working for you? And it may just be that he rolls the toilet paper out all the way and leaves it dangling on the floor.
Or squeezes the toothpaste from the middle of the tube, not at the end of the tube like you're supposed to.
Or he leaves the seat out.
Because here's something really, really scary, but they can all be dealt with. Like you could have 2 tubes of toothpaste.
And 2 toilets.
If you have 2 separate toilets, one could be his toilet, and one could be her toilet. And on this one, the seat stays down, no matter who uses it. And on this one, if you put that damn seat up or down, if you put the damn seat down, you put it back up when you're finished. Thank you very much.
What if what you've bought so far in life doesn't have to be what you function from for the rest of your life? What if it's all just choice?
That's the other one that just reminded me of, was the couple that were talking about how they had separate bedrooms in the house. And it really worked for them because when he got into his bedroom, he just chucked his shit on the floor and didn't have to pick it up. And her bedroom was always incredibly neat and tidy, and everything was in its place and everything had a place. And they typically spent the night in whoever's bed they felt like together. But if either of them felt like they needed a night on their own, they had that choice too. And when they looked at having to downsize, one of them said, "Oh, we might have to go to a 1-bedroom house so we can afford to blah blah," and the other one said, "No freaking way! We're having our separate bedrooms.
We're making more money, so we don't.
We'll make more money if we have to. I don't care. We're just not having. We're not sharing a room." Now, that is not what this rate. Yeah, okay, we call it this reality. I mean, it's what most people do.
So, what sort of tools can we share with these people that they could start using straight away? What? You mean that's not working for you? Oh, you must be bad and wrong because it's not working for you. What we were doing. Interesting.
I'll go back up again so the shot looks great.
It looks like.
How'd that happen?
That's funny.
Yes.
I think it is.
So do I. I did it. Oh, we had to fill in some time yesterday, so I had to try and tell some jokes in front of like 100 people. It was kind of interesting, actually. So would you like be willing to look at your relationship as being a joke that only you're laughing at? Probably not. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Seeing as we're adjusting the shot, we should really get that.
Should we zoom in a little?
We should zoom in a bit and take. Oh, look at that! It's so purple in the background.
So
we should say be serious right now.
We should.
We should, because relationships are serious things.
We should teach them
They're all
tools.
about property, relationship, marital stuff, kids, all that sort of important. Can have it all worked out.
So who does that belong to?
Exactly. So here's one of the first tools we're going to talk about is exactly that. Who does this belong to? So for every point of view that you have, you can ask, "Oh, who does that belong to?"
I don't know about you, but there's been many times that I've walked into a room feeling great, and then all of a sudden, and I'm like, what is that? And in the past, I didn't actually used to think that. I would jump to conclusion and I would start thinking, using my head to try and figure out what I needed to do because I was wrong because I'd gone from happy to sad. Now, what if it's not you? What if it's your awareness of what else is going on in the world? And maybe it's specifically in that room you've just walked into. How many of you have had the phone ring and you've known who it is and you've known whether they're going to be happy or sad when you pick up the phone?
Yep, and you pick up the phone and go, hello, I thought it was you.
So...
Well, actually, you pick up your phone, not your fingers, because your fingers don't really work so well. Bananas don't work either, we've found.
Can we just bring that back into the shot so it's a bit closer?
Sure.
Cool, thanks. So... You're trying to stick that up my nose.
Make it look like I was going to. And then it all turns to cut, and it's your fault.
I'm sorry. Please don't make me wrong again. So, yeah.
Who does this belong to?
Who Does This Belong To is an amazing tool, and it's changed a lot of lives around the world. Just being willing to look at, okay, so something just changed. Who does this belong to? And you don't need to know specifically, oh, well, it's X, Y, Z, and it's because this, that, and this. What it can be is just an awareness of, oh, it's not mine. And by asking the question, who does this belong to? Mine, someone else's, or something else's. You get that awareness. And you get to look at it and go, wow, it's not mine. Cool. What would I like to choose now? And so I invite you to choose to use that question when stuff's going on. And it's really cool when you're having an argument. And my kids use it a lot on me. You know, when we're having some Barneys, they're being a bit rah, and I'm going rah, or rah. It's probably more accurate. And they're just like, who does that belong to? Oh, it's mum's shit. Okay, cool. Oh, whatever. And so they just carry on being them instead of buying into the crap that I'm projecting at them. And yeah, see, I'm not perfect. I still yell at my kids. So yeah.
I think
try
it's
it.
less now.
It's a lot less now.
Good. Otherwise, we would look really bad right about now. That's okay.
And
yes, like, are you willing to actually admit to yourself, even if no one else is around, that you don't have a good relationship? Because here's one of the things: if you don't actually speak, if you're not actually willing to be honest with yourself about what's going on, how the fuck can you change it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're driving down State Highway 1 going south, trying to get to Auckland, and you're already in Hamilton, you've got a hell of a long way to go before you can keep on driving that same direction and reach Auckland.
Well,
including several underwater journeys and a trip through Antarctica.
Oh, once you've been round and like you start going north, then.
Yeah, but at least you're driving in the same direction, so you can pretend it's still south.
Okay, cool.
Like we've just drove home today, and we got to, where was it? South of Huntly. Taupiri. Took the wrong turn off because I was going.
It was going the old road.
And it was like, oh, this isn't the way we want to go. So guess what I did? The typical man thing. Oops, I better turn around then. I better turn my phone off too, actually. It's a bit noisy.
Apologies. So, what if you were willing to actually look at what was really going on in your life and in your relationships and go, so truth, is this working for me? And if it's not, what can I be or do to change that? Now, there are relationships that you might be in that you go, yeah, no, this isn't working for me, and I've tried everything, and it's just not changing, it's not working for me, and you may choose to end those relationships. But until you're actually willing to look at what is real, what is actually going on for you in your relationships, can you ever change it? If you're sitting there saying, it's because he doesn't put the seat down, when actually he's really bad in bed, him learning to put the seat down is not actually going to change the relationship. So what I invite you to do is to get a pen and paper. If you've got okay, let's clarify this. If you've got a relationship that's not as good as you would like it to be, I invite you to get a pen and paper and write down 8 things that require a change for the relationship to work for you. Now, if those things, and I'm not saying tell your partner what those things are, just saying look at those things and ask, are these a deal breaker? If this never changed, would it really, really, really annoy me? Or if this never changed, can I live with that? Now, it's up to you how many that you need to have as deal breakers before you choose to break the deal. But have a look at that. Sit down and actually honestly look at what is it? Is it really that he leaves the seat up? Or is it that he's looking to pick a fight every single time he's around you? Or she's around you. Sorry, I'm a girl, so. Anyway, but, so is she always spending the money? No matter what you do, no matter how you explain to her that if there's checks in the checkbook, it doesn't mean that there's still money in the account. And is that a deal breaker? Or do you just look at it and go, wow, okay, cool. My wife would like to be living this sort of lifestyle, and I love having her around. How can I create enough money, more than enough money, to have her have what she's looking to have, and me to be more at ease with life? So make a list of the things that really bug you, then look at them and decide whether or not they're a deal breaker. So that's one thing. So we've got, who does this belong to? And your list to see if what's a deal breaker for you and what's not working. So what else? Now, right now we seem to be talking about love, partnership kind of relationships. There are, as I said at the beginning, lots of more different types of relationships, and you can apply these tools to any relationship. Whether it's somebody at work that is driving you nuts, they have 2 faces, they tell you one bitchy moany story over here, and then when the person they're bitching and moaning about comes in, they're sweet and nice and kind and caring. What is actually going to work for you? Have a look at that. So who does this belong to? What's the deal breaker? Now, another tool that I've used and found is absolutely amazing is the gratitude tool. Now, gratitude is something that's quite lacking on this planet, and it is something where when you have gratitude for someone, for something, you can't actually judge them. Gratitude and judgment cannot stay in the same place at the same time. So by looking at what you're grateful for about someone that you're in relationship with, allows you just to get out of the judgment and be more able to see what actually is going on. Because as soon as you have a judgment about someone, a conclusion, a decision about someone, something, about your relationship, what that is, how it works, how it functions, who does what, all of those sorts of things, those decisions, judgments, and conclusions actually stop you from having clarity about what's real and true. So by being able to look at what am I grateful for this person at the moment, you can actually get out of that judgment long enough to see what's working for you and what's not working for you. And so what am I grateful for about Glenn? The fact that he goes to answer his phone and comes back with beer. How does it get any better than that? What else am I grateful for about Glenn? I'm grateful that he has loved me. He has cared for me. He has just adored me through all my crap. Through my I don't want to be a mum times, through my oh my god, look at the size of my body times, through the I hate everything, I want to quit everything, I don't want to be here times. He has continued to be there for me. And so, I'm grateful for that. So what if you were to sit down and look at what are you grateful for about those you're in relationship with? And so it looks slightly frozen, Dale.
Ooh, crikey.
So
Corona it is.
are you grateful for Corona? Are you in relationship?
Very.
You like to stick it in your mouth?
Num, num, num.
Num, num, num.
We were talking with someone last night and they'd been on drugs that made them go all numb. She happened to be a female. I turned and said, there's only one sort of numbing you should have. Num, 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 num. I didn't get slapped too hard, so it was... Well, that's one of the interesting things, talking about what are you grateful for somebody. I'm really grateful for the fact that Michelle is comfortable with me being me, which means that I say inappropriate things to people and I now am actually willing to talk to someone who might possibly be as attractive as Michelle is without the fear of, I know this means anything other than I'm just talking to her.
When I first met Glenn,
Yes.
even thinking about being with somebody else was infidelity,
Yeah.
according to him.
Yeah, it was really weird in my universe. It was just, I don't know where I got that from. It doesn't actually matter. But I actually was willing to look at it and say, well, this doesn't actually work. Why would I stop? Well, why would I ask Michelle not to be herself around people? Why would I not allow myself to be myself around people as well? Like, because I think someone looks pretty doesn't mean I want to take them home and have sex with them. There's no
And
actual,
even
there's no
if
actual
you're
link there.
interested in having sex with them, it doesn't mean that you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people go, oh my God, I'm attracted to them. Oh my God, I'd really love to nibble on that. And, well, if I would like to do it, then I must do it. What if it was just a choice? What if it was like, ooh, that's nice. Nom, 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 nom.
I like Gary's example of
And
how to get
choosing not.
how to get a horse fired up, how to get a stallion fired up for mating, for breeding. You take them around and show them all the hinds that you don't want them to breed with that are in heat, and then you put them in with the one that you do want them to breed with. So that by the time they get there, they're just so fired up and it's
Oh, look,
works
I'm
for them.
allowed to have this one. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. And
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Come on.
from what he's also said, we don't really do horses, we're not horsey people, but lots of people are apparently. So horsey, good, get up, get up, oh, yeehaw. And look at him.
Glenn likes riding, just not horses.
No, not horses, mountain bikes.
And that's
And thoroughbreds are kind of stupid.
apparently.
Apparently thoroughbred horses are quite stupid because, unfortunately, in breeding for a bloodline, you tend to breed out things like intelligence. Apparently it works for royalty too, but it's another conversation. I'm on my call and I'm stupid. You make me president of the United States, Oh no. Did I do good, Daddy? Did I? Huh? I finished your wall, Daddy. Let's not go into that relationship, shall we?
It's definitely a type of relationship where if
is.
somebody was going to ask us a question about it, then we could definitely go there. But
Yes.
I don't think we need to because nobody's asked a question.
Everyone's alive or what? Hey, look, World War III just had me missed it because we're all fucking hanging out. Yeah.
So, you're talking about
Gratitude.
horses
Horses.
having their brains bred out of them.
Yes, because you fire up the stallion and give it to the mare that you want. Are you actually willing to, like, as a woman, fire up your stallion and then take him home and be the mare that he wants?
And not just the man. Like,
For the ladies too. Yeah.
hey guys, hang a poster of a sexy man on the wall if that's what your woman's into, and
take advantage of the fact that she's ready for it now, because it's not about our point of view being right or wrong. It's more about what actually works for you, what actually works for the person that you're in a relationship with. Because this kind of works for us. Like we enjoy dancing, and I remember years ago being told by a dance instructor, one of the great things about dancing with somebody is you can get on the dance floor for one song, flirt with them the entire song, turn on the sex, turn on the heat, blah 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 blah, and then give them back to their partner. And that's once you're off the dance floor, that's the end of it. But you're actually giving yourself permission to do that.
to be you.
To be you. If that's what you enjoy doing. And by the same token, if that's not you, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
What actually works for you and your partner?
Absolutely.
And you're willing to look outside of what you see around you. It sort of feels a bit weird to be saying this reality because it sounds very like fucking access speak. It's like, well, of all the examples you see around you of your own parents, of your grandparents, obviously that you all grew up in different times, or your friends and that. Just because that's what you see around you, is that what you have to have for yourself too, as a relationship?
And I think this is a really good place to introduce another really cool tool, which is just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone. Now, if you are not interested in being the butt of the snide comments, the jokes, the pointed fingers, the whispered behind hands, the shunned because you're just not appropriate, then if something doesn't fit in with what your family or your friends perceive as the right thing to do, don't tell them. If it's fun for you, if it's joyful for you, if it's a contribution to you and the person that you're with, don't tell them. Don't tell everybody else. Don't go out and say, look, I had 5 men in my bed last night. It was so much fun. Ha, ha, ha.
None of them were my husband.
And, my husband was running the video camera. Yeah. In this reality, you will get judged for it. You will, and if you're not wishing to be judged for it, then don't tell them.
It's not actually their business.
No. And you're not obligated to tell them either.
Yeah. No, we've got a radio station here in New Zealand called The Rock, and I might have mentioned this on a previous call. They actually had somehow. Oh, you want to be a talk, grasshopper? They actually got on. 2 of the biggest idiots on the show, on the radio station actually came up with some really interesting stuff. And it was a guy who was talking about his neighbour. They're talking about odd relationships. And this guy's neighbour, they lived in a 2-story house. He lived upstairs with his wife, and his girlfriend lived downstairs. And it worked for them. He had a higher sex drive than his wife, and his wife wasn't really that interested, and the girlfriend wasn't interested in a relationship, but they both enjoyed each other's having sex. So the wife didn't care because she didn't have to, and he was happy, and she was happy, and they were all happy.
We're looking for a wife. Because putting it out there, we're looking for a wife. I'm happy to be Glenn's mistress and, do the sex and receive the jewelry. And so we're looking for someone who can cook, clean, get the kids to school, all those sorts of fun things that a wife would normally do that neither of us are particularly keen on. So if you know of anyone who's a bit of eye candy and looking for a place to stay.
Oh my
so there
goodness.
You go.
Here we go. This could be interesting.
The applications are rolling in already.
But I mean,
so what if?
Yeah.
What if that is actually what would work for you? What if, what if, there's a lot of.
Corona is good. I so don't believe in commercial sponsorship, but Corona. I just wish
Can we have the money now, please?
Corona from the relationship you'd rather be in.
If your relationship isn't working, and
Drink beer.
so that's just an example of what relationship for you could actually be, if not specifically that definition of it, but what if you were willing to look outside of what this reality says? Some religions say that the Mormon's choice to have multiple wives is wrong and bad, and some religions say that not having multiple wives is wrong and bad. And what if there is no wrong? What if you can actually choose what works for you, what works for the people that you're in relationship with, whatever that looks like, work, family, couple, whoever, whatever.
What is it, polygamy? Having more than one wife is outlawed in most countries and everything, even punishable by jail and stuff. But who needs to go to jail when you've got two mother-in-laws?
Or six.
Put them in the same room at the same time and then watch them go. Oh yeah. But what if you would? Here's another real simple tool to use: is actually indulge it for 3 days. So actually think about it and go, okay, so what would actually work for me? Okay, would having a lover outside of my relationship work for me? What would that create? What would that be like? And indulge it for 3 days. Doesn't necessarily mean go out and do it, because you can do it in your head first. Think about it. Okay, so what would actually that look like? And just be willing to be actually honest with yourself. So if you're in a relationship with someone, you think, what would I like to have a bit on the side? Well, would that work for my partner? Would be a great place to start. Would they actually be interested in that? If that's a big no, yeah.
And do you have to tell them?
A, do you have to tell them? B, do you have to be in a relationship with them? Are you better off with somebody? If it's really that important to you, what is actually important to you? What actually makes you be alive? What is you being you look to you like to you? Dr. Dane here, co-creator of Axios, he does not do relationship. He does not spend. He's not a one-woman man. He does not do wife with kids.
I just tried to imagine that didn't work.
And he's willing to be honest with himself, and he's not going to go there, which is kind of funny because there are a lot of people who show up and try to make him understand that they know that she knows that she's the right woman for him to live with the rest of his life. But because he's willing to be honest with himself about who he is and what works for him, he's really, he can say no.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
And that's exactly it. If you know what you would like to create as your life, and something shows up that doesn't match that, you can go, no thanks, without a point of view. But if you have the point of view that you need to be in a relationship, come hell or high water, because mum says you have to, because if you get to 30 and you're still a spinster, then you're bad, wrong, terrible, and horrible, and you must be really ugly too. And you get to 29 and you're still not married, all of a sudden, any man that walks into your life is, well, this is my ticket out of spinsterdom. When actually...
30-year-old hot spinster, you could be Batgirl. Just saying.
Guess what? Stallion's walking past some paddocks right now in his head.
Actually, the original Batman series, and there's this conversation between Batgirl and Alfred or Batman and Batgirl in their normal incarnations. Oh, I've never met a more attractive spinster. Oh, nor me, a more eligible bachelor, Mr. Wayne. Oh my goodness. It's just what it was at the time. But they both had Alfred.
They both had Alfred.
Yes, Alfred knew both the secrets.
Right.
Oh, Alfred, in this bag is the key to Batgirl's identity. Well, Mr. Wayne, if positions were reversed, would you like her to be uncovering your secret identity? No, you're right, Alfred. I couldn't do that. It would be a betrayal of trust. It was really quite funny, actually.
I love that about him. photographic memory when it comes to movies or books.
I don't know if it's photographic because I might have my own filters. I've got photographic memory with my own filters over the lenses, so I see it the way I want it to.
Awesome.
Yes.
Which is a really good point. What if your judgments and conclusions and decisions are actually just filters in front of the lens? Like, what if the world isn't pink? Rose-coloured glasses. Sorry, wasn't funny. But it's, how many people wander around looking at all
I see pink bits everywhere, do-da, do-da. I see pink bits everywhere, oh-de-do-da-day. Oh-de-do-da-dee, oh-de-do-da-day. I see pink bits everywhere, oh-de-do-da-day.
Oh, God. Sorry. Apologies, I won't use rose-coloured glasses as an example in the future.
I'm so going to have to use that line somewhere else as well. The best thing about rose-coloured glasses is that you get to see pink bits everywhere. It's just awesome.
Yes.
Back to that conversation about a wife. So, backstory. Part of the conversation about the wife is that one of Gary's favourite, Gary Douglas's band, Access, blah, blah. Awesome guy. AccessConsciousness.com. Yeah.
GaryMDouglas.com.
Yes. But one of the great things he says in class often is, ask somebody a question to give them more awareness about what they're up to. Hey, I've got this issue where I ask them a question, but they won't answer the question. So he says, answer my bloody question. Did we get married? Because you're not listening to me and we're not having sex. And isn't that just so much how so many relationships are out there? You have, most guys do sex
To get relationship. And
No,
girls do relation. No.
Guys will do a relationship to have sex, and women will do sex to have a relationship. So, of course, once you're in the relationship, all of a sudden the sex stops from the woman's side because they've got the relationship, and the guy will still want sex because he's having a relationship to have sex. And isn't it time for this sort of craziness just to stop? So, if you actually like sex, then to have sex, and if you don't like sex, maybe you just need to find a partner who doesn't like sex. It's not actually a big deal. It's much bigger, made out to be a much bigger deal.
Or be in a harem, then you only have to have them once a week. Sorry.
Oh, we're out of time. Bye-bye. Simpsons. Oh, Germany, they have chocolate. Think about chocolate.
Sorry, lost me on that one.
Then Homer comes out of his dream about chocolate and they go, Mr. Simpson. He goes, oh, sorry, what did you say? You said something about blah, blah, land of chocolate. He goes, that was 15 minutes ago, Mr. Simpson. chocolate.
Yes, Batgirl was about 15 minutes ago. Chocolate. Okay. Chocolate sauce.
So what are the tools? You know you're having an eating disorder when you cover your misses in chocolate sauce and then when you stop and you realise that you're just licking the marrow out of the bones. Anyway.
Okay.
That might be a bit quick. What's the biggest problem about Polish jokes timing?
Anyway, back to relationships. I'm not sure whose short messages we just had, but they weren't mine.
No. No, there were a few short messages.
Allowance. That leads really well into allowance.
When you're in a relationship with somebody, are you actually willing to allow them to be them? Or are you a person that likes to find a fixer-upper to fix? But the problem with that is once you fix them up, then they no longer need fixing, so you may as well get rid of them because you need to find another fixer-upper.
And they don't want you anymore because they're better and they can get a better relationship.
And they're tired of being fixed.
So, what if you could allow them to leave the seat up? What if you could allow them to tell their jokes, even when they're not funny to you?
I thought it was funny.
I got that.
It was funny in my head.
I got that too.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, what you do?
Oh, I'm 18 now.
So, allowance.
So we've done allowance, we've done gratitude, honour. Honour. You're insulting my friend, therefore I must kill your honour. No, we don't. Honour. Honouring. Are you actually willing to honour the other person as themselves? So in other words, if you do something stupid, you don't necessarily have to tell them, hey, honey, I just accidentally got drunk and shagged some chick 5 times one night. Didn't mean to, but I just did. Gee, thanks for telling me, doll. I could have not ever known that. Been happy for this life.
So what is honouring for you and what is honouring for your partner? Is telling them that you use their toothbrush to clean the dirt out of something actually honouring? If you cleaned it properly afterwards.
I'd hope you wouldn't tell me that if you used my toothbrush to clean the dirt out of something.
I would be honouring you if I didn't tell you, wouldn't I?
Honouring could be something as simple as, it's my job to take the rubbish out, therefore I will take the rubbish out, so you don't have to do it because I know you don't like it. Or
honouring could be as simple as, I'm getting another drink, would you like one, darling?
It could be any number of things. What would...
Honouring could be, okay, she's on a diet. I'd really like an ice cream, but I know that if I ask her if she would like an ice cream, then it's going to be putting pressure on her because she's trying to lose weight. So I'm just going to take the kids, we're going to go for a drive, come back having had our ice cream. And she will be none the wiser and not feel bad that she has to say no. Or not eat it and then feel bad that she broke her diet.
Yeah. Are you actually willing to honour your partner?
So, trust.
Honour? Gratitude?
We haven't done trust.
We haven't done trust.
No.
Oh, trust.
I was trusting you to know all 5 elements of intimacy, darling.
I didn't know which one had been done.
Oh.
Trust me, forget something.
That's an interesting concept.
So, trust. Now,
we're not talking about family trusts and law and all that kind of putting them stuff away so people can't get hold of it.
I haven't even gone there. Trust.
Although it could be. If you trust him to get a young wife and then give her everything so the kids get nothing, then putting this stuff in the family trust might be a good idea.
Yes. It could be a pretty good idea, actually. But what we're actually talking about with trust is you can always trust someone to be who they are. So you can always trust a liar to lie. You can always trust a cheater to cheat. You can always trust a stealer or a thief. Stealer to steal, thief to thief. So you can always trust somebody. If someone's cheated on you, then you can trust them to cheat on you again.
And if they prove otherwise, cool.
It's a pleasant surprise. Hooray! You didn't. Awesome. I'm really glad about that. And if you're going to stay with somebody that's lied to you in the past, you can trust them to lie to you in the future. So you actually need to be willing to look at that if you're going to be with them. You can always trust someone to be who they are. This is different to blind faith, which is trusting them to be like you think they should be, regardless of all the evidence otherwise.
Yeah, and how many people do you know that have decided that somebody is the perfect person for them? And so they go into the relationship with blind faith that that person is the perfect person for them. And does that actually stop them from being able to see where that person is not the perfect person for them?
Hey, this person's so beautiful. She's so yummy. She's so lovely. She treats me nicely all the time. She's an ugly, vicious, angry bitch. But you can't see that, can you? No, she's lovely. She treats me really nicely. Well, okay. If you're not willing to see it, then if someone's not willing to see something like that, then you can't actually tell them until they are, because they will just have the choice of confronting the stuff they don't want to look at or making you wrong and making you go away. And 9 times out of 10, they'll make you go away. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, maybe more.
So gratitude,
Trust,
honour,
allowance,
and vulnerability. Now, vulnerability is being as the open wound. So a cool breeze blows over the open wound and you perceive it. You can actually be aware of everything that's going on. Being willing to not have those filters, to not have those judgments that block off your awareness, and being able to be that vulnerable with your relationship and with you. All of this applies to your relationship with yourself as well as your significant other or insignificant other or kids or whatever.
Yep. Are you actually willing to get somewhere quiet if you need to be somewhere quiet with no distractions, no one else around, and actually drop all your barriers and be vulnerable with yourself and say, okay, what would actually work for me? If I had a blank slate with no future, no past, no one knew who, if I was dropped into a country where nobody knew me and I could recreate myself, what would I actually like to be? What would I actually like to be myself? What would I actually like my life to look like? What would I like as a relationship? If I had no wife, if I had no kids, if I had no job, if I had no career, if I had nothing, and I could start from zero, what would I actually like to create my life as? What would I like to create my relationship as? Actually be honest with yourself. Start from there. Be vulnerable. Actually, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're basically screwed. So we should sugarcoat that. You're fucked.
Oh, deep fried and covered in chocolate, please.
Still sounds like it'll hurt though.
Depends what we're talking about, darling. So.
Not just deep fried Moro bars.
No.
No, you actually wanted to be vulnerable with yourself to start off with, and then with the person you're in a relationship with after that. And actually, because when you're willing to be vulnerable and someone else is willing to honour you and be vulnerable as well, you can create something that looks so different to what you see around you, even if it looks on the outside like what people have around you. That may be a bit deep.
It might be.
Might be a bit deep. It could be fucking awesome. Yeah, you go hard, brother.
So those are the 5 elements of intimacy, as taught in the Access Consciousness classes. And if you would like some more information about those, please check out the Access Consciousness classes, the Right Relationship for You classes, the Sex is Not a 4-Letter Word, but Relationship Oftentimes Is book.
Yep, highly recommend that.
Really, really awesome. Very easy to read if you're actually willing to look at
all of the stuff. And divorceless relationships. It's actually how to create a relationship that works for you without divorcing any part of yourself. Because what we would really like to see is people having a relationship that works for them, regardless of whether it works for anybody else around them. And being an allowance of everybody else having what works for them too. So it doesn't have to. It doesn't actually matter. You know what I mean? There's a gay couple. And
there's got a few gay couples.
There's a gay couple next door. It's and they invite us around for snacks, and their food's always really good, and they give us free drinks. Who cares what they do when we go home? It doesn't matter. Or there's a couple that do this, or there's a blah 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 blah. It's it doesn't actually make any difference. Are they kind to each other? Do they honour each other? Are they vulnerable with each other? Do they trust each other to be who they are? Are they in full allowance of that? Or that's far more important than what the actual relationship looks like.
I invite you to look at what would this world be like if everybody was functioning from those 5 elements of intimacy with themselves and then with each other. Would there be the war, the abuse, the cruelty, the
yucky stuff
that is not fun on this planet? If everybody was willing to function from those 5 elements of intimacy. And, hey, as the late Michael Jackson said, let's start with the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah.
So just to grasp the testicles to get that high. Maybe I'll write it down, $2.
Really? Do I have to wait that long?
No, this is a lie. Story sounds good. It's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, if you'd like to know more, do all that shit we told you about before. Read books and stuff. Read. Might learn something. Or else pay us so much money it's not funny, and we never talk to you.
So you can
Live.
find more about us or classes that we personally are doing at accessu.info.
XSU as in YOU. For the youth these days, I can't spell you.
Or you can find more of this series, the Change Your Life series, at changeyourlifeseries.co.nz or
Yes.
NZ.
NZ for your Americans.
So thanks so much, everyone, and
Hope
we've
you
enjoyed
have too.
ourselves, and we look forward to catching up with you next month. We are talking about money.
Money.
It's
Money.
in a rich man's world.
Bye.